right, so the date being June 3rd, time being 7 p.m. I'd like to bring our Board of Health meeting to order. Members present, Marty Golightly.
You guys don't have to leave.
Alex
You're more than welcome to
Haggerty,
stay.
Linda Dickey, Chris Schultz, myself, Susan Emery, and Aaron Christian is excused. We also have in the audience our Rico, Angela Dahlstrom. And first thing on the agenda is, as always, to say the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alrighty. Next up on the agenda is Alex's Tackling Addiction Report.
All right, thank you, Susan.
Thank
All
you.
right, so for this meeting's Tackling Addiction report, I just wanted to report on the next Abington Substance Awareness Coalition meeting that's coming up, and also seeing that school is getting out very soon, just some tips on how to keep teens and young adults safe from addiction during the summer months. So starting off with the Abington Substance Awareness Coalition meeting, the next coalition meeting will be held on Wednesday, July 10th, 2019 at 7 o'clock p.m. here at the Town Hall. So there is no meeting for June. I just discussed that with the chairwoman today. So the next meeting is July 10th, 2019 at 7 p.m. Abington Town Hall. The coalition's meetings are public, and we encourage all who want to get involved with the coalition to help create a substance awareness to attend. If anyone wants any more information on the Abington Substance Awareness Coalition, residents can follow the coalition's Facebook page under the same name and Twitter pages at Abington Awareness. And the website is also up and ready to go, abingtonawareness.com. As for with the summer months coming up, according to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, June, July, and August see the highest rate of accidents contributed by alcohol or drugs. So now that it's time of the year for summer vacation, it's important that our kids and young adults remain safe from drugs and alcohol. So here are some helpful tips for you and your children to stay safe this summer from alcohol and drugs. I obtained this information from Narcon International. It's a website. I also have the link on my update. I have just the highlighted points of it. So number one, talk to your kids about drug and alcohol use. Be very clear about your expectation, what they should, that they should remain drug and alcohol free, Number two, know where your children are going. Number three, prepare your child for the types of peer pressure, which can just be the desire to fit or have the same kind of fun their friends are having. So make sure that you're teaching your kids, what to be aware of. They must be mentally prepared to leave, and also mentally prepared to leave a party when drugs or alcohol show up, so it's underage, under 21. Number four, open the floor to conversations in which your children can talk about friends they saw drunk or using drugs, what they thought of it, and did it look fun, and just kind of like the experience or whatever, talk to them, hear what they have to say, and then go from there. Because it's good to have the communication with the kids and the parents. Number five, find out your child's hopes and dreams for the next few years and beyond if they are thinking this far ahead. This is a way just to really get kids in the mindset of going for achievement and trying to steer away from drugs and alcohol. Because that can be a distraction. Number six, encourage your child to pursue their own interests over the summer. So perhaps summer camp, or getting involved in your community, perhaps even helping at the senior center. I know Abington Senior Center is always looking for help. Number seven, get them into summer programs of their own choosing. It's kind of just an extension of number six. Number eight, this is one definitely for over 21. And also to tell your kids, even before they're 21, drink moderately or not at all. Never use any illicit drugs, and use prescription drugs. Use them as recommended. And number 6, get together as a family as often as possible. It's important to have that family unit there and that support group. I can definitely say from experience with family members and friends, a good support group will help with getting involved with drugs and addiction. And unfortunately, if you do get into that situation with drugs and alcohol and addiction, family has definitely been a big component, especially in my experience, of how to deal with it and really get into recovery. So with that being said, to all Abington residents, please stay safe, happy, and healthy this summer, and enjoy the gorgeous summer wind.
Thank you, Alex. Moving on, next item on the agenda is the hand call down list. I just asked about it because we haven't had one for a while.
Nope, they're due every quarter,
Right.
so we'll probably have them before the end of the month.
Okay, that'd be great. All right, so I didn't have anything else on that. Did anybody? This was an item that I
I
put
was
on.
hoping Aaron would be here, but he needs to be added to the list
Yes,
if he wants to be.
sure.
So
I think that's something, especially these days with everybody having a cell phone, because it's so easy to just not answer.
you can respond to those by text now too.
That's,
Those are a bit
I
more
noticed
savvy
that,
technically.
yeah.
And Han tangential relation, we did the EDS activation site, which is what we would use the Han for. We did the drill 2 weeks ago.
Oh, good.
And yeah, the fire chief was there, police chief was there, superintendent of schools, facilities manager, me, planner. We had she's a disabilities and people with special needs consultant, kind of help us find a place for behavioral sciences or behavioral issues. And it went well.
Oh,
So
that's great.
the Han is due, as far as we know, once a quarter. So
Yeah.
it will probably be towards the end of the month.
When was the last time we had one? Was it
February.
December? February?
January? February. I'd have to check.
Alrighty, well, that's good. So I was asking about it because I was feeling like it was time. So if there's nothing else on that, we can move on to the next item on the agenda. Then if there aren't any objections. So next thing is the ticks. I put this one on the agenda too. So on our website, we have links to other agencies and entities that we partner up with. Plymouth County Extension is one of them, and Blake Denius works for them. And he goes around and he does TikToks. He tells you if you find a tick that you think is suspiciously a deer tick and you remove it and can put it into a tube, you can mail it to this address, $50, they'll tell you what it has. And sometimes if you do have Lyme disease, that helps the doctors. He also talks about different things that you can plant in your garden and such. And I reached out to him, but he was already coming to Abington. So, and he is coming to Abington on June 8th for at the Abington Senior Center at the Alliance Pancake thing that they're doing, and the Abington Senior Center
I'm sorry, that threw me. What was the date again?
This Saturday,
Okay.
June 8th. Yeah,
Oh, it's
he,
this Saturday.
I will put
Yeah.
that on, I'll put that on the website tomorrow.
awesome. Well, I've also invited him because it is such a stellar weekend in town. I felt like some of the people at the senior center did, and Mr. Denius also felt that, he'd be willing to accept questions from anybody that had questions. Do you want to know, say, for example, if a certain product kills bees as well as ticks, and those sorts of things. I've been collecting questions to present to Mr. Denius. just to add one more layer of communication with this program, and he's going to give us all the answers too on Abington Cam on June 11th. So I just felt like these are all things, resources that we already have in our toolbox, so we're just trying to use them. So I'm inviting everybody to reach out. You can reach out to me if you have a question about,
What time is this?
At the Abington Cam is 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
At the senior center?
Oh, the
No, which
senior
one is
center
that?
is, the June 8th is at the senior center, and that's jiving with their pancake breakfast and open house. That is between 8 and 12.
Between 8 and 12.
Yeah, I have a feeling he's gonna be circulating throughout the open house and answering questions there.
Yeah.
And so, but if you can't get there, because it is such a stellar weekend, I know so many people are doing so many things, I'm happy to give him questions. Or actually, he has an email address that if anybody wants it, it's, I've been trying to circulate the information because once again, there are so many things going on this weekend. I don't think that the senior center has really had a chance to talk about this one feature of their open house, which I'm sure they have, you know, maybe they're having something else go on too, but this is just something I became aware of. And I thought that I'd share it with you all, and I really want the residents to know because I think that his, that you just see so many misinformation things going around. And he has the answers for that, so I thought that'd be beneficial to the residents. So that being said, that was it. That was more of a just wanted to talk about this. I actually got this information the day of our last meeting, but I didn't have a chance to put it on the agenda. So I've known about this for a little bit. Did you have a question, Alex?
No.
You had a puzzled look.
No, I just,
And I don't want to discourage any
must be
questions.
my face.
Aw. All right, next up is Plymouth County Mosquito Control and Dan Dailey. And this is kind of on the same thread. I would really like to grab him to come to town if at all possible. I think that any education that we can get, any chance that we can have to ask a question would be greatly appreciated. Thank you, Chris. All right, so we've been having people come into the room and take the chairs.
It's just a little distracting.
Right, it is so sorry to be so distracting, but I would like to, I don't think that we'd be able to get Dan Dailey here in a timely fashion because our next meeting is booked with DJ Wilson, and then the next one would be July 3rd, and it would be impossible to expect to offer up one date. So I'm gonna have to try to find another solution because I'd love to get something from him before August. Because after that, I just feel like the first chance that we get a triple E sample or West Nile virus sample, there's going to be a lot of people wanting questions, and I think at that moment we would regret not having reached out to him at this point. And I'm only one person. I'm very open to discussion if anybody has any thoughts on the matter.
If anybody has any questions about what triple E is or what West Nile is, there's a link on the health department's website. Please click it, read. It's got some good stuff, links to the CDC and to the NIH, which is the National Institutes of Health.
Thank you, Marty.
And please give me a call. I love talking
We do
about
get notified.
Yeah,
Well,
we get notified if they've found.
Right, that's
So,
exactly my point though, is at that point that we get notified, now it's too late to reach out because now there's a sample out there and everybody wants to talk to Mr. Dailey. So that's why I was thinking it'd be good to reach out before that happens. I'm a little superstitious, so I don't, and I'm not a scientist or anything, so I don't think I can predict the mosquito activity of the year, but
I know
We'll
there's.
definitely have a few traps that
Yeah.
come back positive for West Nile. We may have may or may not have AAA. I would anticipate a few.
There's only been one time since I've been on the board in 7 years that we've actually had to stop them from having outdoor activities at the school
At this, yeah.
because of reports.
I think it affected
I
football
forget.
more.
Yeah.
Did it happen last year?
No,
It
it's
was
been a few years.
Yeah, it was before I was.
But
it was
it's only
before I was
been
on.
once since I've been on the board that it was that bad that we had to do that.
Yeah, because.
And we did
couldn't,
have some coaches in here and, they all came to the meeting.
Yeah, but to
And I believe
resume
we had the,
field.
yeah, they wanted to go back and they had to come to us first. And
Yes,
we had to give them,
permission to be able to use the
Permission
fields,
and-
right.
that was only after we got all the information from the higher up in Mass, yeah.
Yes,
So
DPH
hopefully
has,
it won't be like that this year.
Well,
Yeah.
We'll
right,
think
I'm hoping for
positive.
that too.
Yeah,
I'm hoping for
but
that
just in
too.
case,
Well,
get him before he retires.
that's what I
Get
was
some
thinking,
info.
I don't know,
Even if we get some hard copies of just some information.
Yeah.
The information should probably be good for a couple of years,
Yeah.
things don't change that.
It's
No,
on the
disease
website.
won't
Yeah.
change.
And we can share them on the
And if
social media.
anybody
Yeah.
has any questions, give me a call. I love nerding out about that stuff. I like that stuff.
Excellent.
Cool.
Alrighty, so next item on the agenda is the introduction to Angela. Would you like to,
So Angela Dahlstrom is our Recycling Education and Compliance Officer. She's also my assistant grant writer and jack of all trades, fixer of many things, deliverer of trash cards, deliverer of recycle cards, and my social media manager right now.
Yes.
So you want to talk about a woman that's wearing a lot of hats? There you go. So we have put together, what our RDP points went up already 33% based on last year's count, right? So it's already a net gain for a lot of things. So if you see her out delivering trash cards or recycling cards, don't be alarmed, she's supposed to be doing that. And if she takes one from your house, she's also supposed to be doing that too. Yeah, we're lucky to have her, environmental scientist. And yeah, so I'm glad you're here.
Welcome.
Awesome.
Welcome.
That was a great introduction, if
Yeah.
I do say so myself.
You did very well.
9.5 out of 10, I'm just saying.
Environmental scientists. That will be helpful when we do our regulations for the bags.
Yeah, waiting on that from the, sorry, not on the agenda.
Yeah, no.
Burp, burp.
I'm impressed that she's an environmental scientist.
Yeah.
I like that title.
Alrighty, so if there is nothing else on that agenda item, anybody like to talk about the next item is the Compost Site scheduling and volunteers.
So thanks to your post, which I shared on the Life in Abington, some residents are asking if we can have the site open on days other than Saturdays. So I tried to field that question with, they're volunteers. Through the senior center, we don't even have enough to schedule our regular ones. Some people were supposed to come tonight to offer themselves up for additional days, but
Yeah, I brought all the paperwork for them too, I was kind of excited. I would love to have more volunteers. If I had a overabundance of volunteers who are working senior hours, I would happily open it for like a Friday morning or a Monday morning if some senior volunteers were willing to do that for, an every now and then thing. But considering I don't even have enough people to work it for just the Saturday mornings, it's really hard to kind of offer that thing up.
Yeah.
So until we get more volunteers, the schedule stays as is. But we have a job description on the website and ready for anybody that wants it. It's pretty easy. And you get a rebate on your taxes if you're a senior and you own a home in Abington, or if you just want to volunteer to help to make the world a better place, then you get free donuts and high fives. So many high
Hey,
fives.
I never got free donuts. I got free coffee, but I never got a donut.
Oh, no. I will repair that.
Actually, I like hot chocolate.
So yeah, we need more volunteers.
well, one other question that was raised was if could we impose the maximum fine on every single individual that dumps anything in front of the gate, and then use that money to pay to have staff up there?
As soon as
a
I
couple days a
catch enough people to do that, I will entertain that option. I would love to entertain that option. Please,
Well, there
let's
was
entertain that.
one person on video, and it was posted on Facebook.
Yeah, we don't,
Covered the-
we couldn't get,
Didn't get the license
we
plate.
couldn't get the license plate number, couldn't identify actually who it was. And the video,
No Zoom?
and that video was about a year old.
Oh,
So, but now we finally got the cameras up to 100% functionality, and we kind of moved the lenses around a little bit. So, if you're caught dumping
Actually,
there,
I think that fine does go back into the Board of Health budget, whereupon other
I
fines
believe
would
it
go
does.
into general fund.
Yes.
I believe it does.
I believe that
So
one goes
that-
into
so the-
ours.
if-
I would defer to the accountant on that before I say anything.
I would
Yeah.
also, but I think it does, yeah.
But if an intelligent use of that fine money is to staff it for a day or two, or if, for example, a person dumping was unable to pay the fine and wanted to work a few hours in lieu of paying the full $1,000, I mean, we might be able to work that out too. But those cameras are working. Do not dump unless you want to owe us $1,000. And I check them, Angela checks them daily.
Yeah.
I understand it's a process.
We are watching. Big sister is watching.
kind of on, is that it for the compost site?
That's all I
I
have.
just wanted to ask, do we still have rain barrels available? That's kind of.
We never had rain barrels.
Do we have rain
We
barrels?
have
I know we have compost bins. I already have one of those.
Yeah.
We do not have rain barrels.
No.
Okay.
Hey,
Do you need a rain barrel?
compost
I
site,
would like one.
compost site related thing, since
Okay.
talking about the scheduling, might be adding composting, actual composting of food waste to the compost real soon.
Ooh,
Yeah, we have a meeting on Thursday. I'm stoked.
What, that we would
We
bring
would bring them,
there?
or maybe getting barrels for the town. But right now, as a site.
Well, I know up in Canada, you leave your bag of compost
Why don't
out
we talk
front.
about it exactly
and then-
right now, because I don't
Okay.
know what we're doing, but.
I do my own
very-
composting.
At
so
at
I
the
do-
compost
I wouldn't-
site, hence its name, finally, the nomenclature will match its, actual position. 'Cause we may have food compost bins in there shortly. Maybe.
Cool. Awesome.
Good.
And maybe that'll lead to more volunteers, because that'll generate some more income.
I did,
There we go.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yes.
Yeah, man. Sorry, I get nerded out on that stuff too.
that's
so.
okay, that's okay, have at it. Awesome, so did you have anything to add, anything further for the compost site? Were you done?
Nope, that's good. I'm good.
Thank you, Chris. Please call me if you have any compost site or trash-related questions. I will talk to you for days about that stuff. I don't know why it excites me, but it does.
There you go. Alrighty, so the next item on the agenda are the minutes from 5:20. This was the meeting before the town meeting.
Yes.
Do I have anybody that wants to make a motion of any kind?
I'll make a motion
Do we make a motion
to accept the minutes.
I'll second.
So Alex has made a motion to accept, Linda is second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I have 4, and Aaron's not here, so he's a 0 for this vote, and I will sign these right away. Does anybody want to give a motion to adjourn?
I'll motion to adjourn.
Second.
Very good.
All those in favor?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Very good. It's over.
I'm interested when I build my tiny house off the grid one day in a composting toilet.